This start is critical, absolutely critical.
Sebastian Buemi on pole position. His Renault teammate Nico Prost alongside him. Lucas de Grassi and Oliver Turvey are on the second row of the grid. It's the championship decider in the second round of FIA Formula E. We go green in London. It's a very good start from de Grassi. Is he going to be able to pull alongside and try and attack Nico Prost on the run down to turn one? He's not quite able to do so. Tucks in behind Nico Prost. How aggressive is he going to be? Coming down into turn three, into the left-hander. He goes side by side. Oh, he hits him! I don't believe it! The two championship contenders out at turn one, and that means de Grassi would win the championship on countback. Can you believe it's happened immediately?
I was joking about that in the interview, and we've just seen it.
Buemi's still going though.
Safety car deployed.
All Buemi needs to do now is come into the pits, change over into his other car, set the fastest lap, and he could win the championship.
Can de Grassi get back to the pits as well?
Well, I don't know if he can. That front right wheel is absolutely royally in trouble.
He'll get there, Jack. He will definitely get there.
Even if he has to get the car out and push like Nigel Mansell.
Can they get the back wing changed on Buemi's car? Can they? If they can do that, he's back in the race as a whole. But as you say, if not, he's going to go for that fastest lap.
Okay, Lucas, we're going to do a car change.
Really?
And we're going to try to go for fastest lap.
So now it could just be a battle between the two of them for fastest lap. The incident now is under investigation.
Got to be.
But what can they do?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Because they can't, you know, give him a time penalty, drive-through penalty. None of that matters because he'd still end up with more points than Sebastian Buemi.
Unless Buemi does the fastest lap.
Exactly.
But I guess if de Grassi does fastest lap, they take it away from him. Let's look at the incident again, though. Let's see how this happened. Let's see.
Qu'est-ce que je fais? Je continue, hein?
He's very calm on the radio. Let's have a look. Can we look at the replays of this accident? This is.
Oh, look at de Grassi there.
They braked so early. They braked so early there.
Yeah.
That's what de Grassi reckons. He was side by side with Prost.
Copy, Lucas.
I'm
We saw it on
literally
television.
speechless.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a first.
We're gonna go for a
Ça
car
serait bien d'essayer de me donner un petit peu des informations, les mecs. La voiture, elle a pas l'air super bien en forme, hein, je peux vous dire.
There was a lot of talk about this. Oh, if de Grassi just rams Buemi out,
we were joking.
Yeah.
Rentrer au box essentiellement.
Buemi has stayed out then.
Quite right, yeah.
But he's got no rear wing, Dario.
Yeah, but
On va,
they're
faire
under
le meilleur
safety
tour.
car.
On va faire le meilleur tour. Vous mettez la high downforce, vous préparez tout, on va faire le meilleur tour.
High downforce, I think I got there. Repairing a high downforce wing. Okay.
Here we go then. It was a good start initially from de Grassi in third place. And that's all fine. The start is moderately irrelevant.
Abîmée, elle a plus d'aileron, elle a plus du tout d'aileron arrière, plus sa suspension abîmée. Je pense que le moteur arrière gauche, je suis pas sûr, il est peut-être à plat. Mais
Then
c'est pas
coming
grave,
down
on va faire
into
le
the
meilleur tour, on va tout tenter
left-hander
pour
of
le meilleur
turn
tour.
3. Here we go. So de Grassi's alongside Prost.
Now, I will say he tried to get out of the way. Did you see him thinking left? It looks like he's tried to avoid the accident.
I will agree with that.
You know, at first I thought he was trying to be aggressive and force Nico Prost out of the way. I think he's trying to avoid the
Well, here we go.
ramming his championship rival.
This will tell us.
Yeah,
so
let's watch it from here. Great start from Lucas de Grassi here. Nico Prost in the second of those cars in front, the Renault Edams cars. Yeah, I mean, he was feathering and braking. I honestly think, I think they braked early. But that doesn't negate that you've got to avoid the collision.
You're still the car behind, aren't you?
The car behind, you've got to avoid the collision, and that. That was what Jack looked like. The lady in the blue.
Exactly.
That's what Jack looked like.
Oh my word! Wow. So Buemi is de Grassi back in the pits, and they're adjusting. They're going to qualifying spec.
Higher downforce for qualifying spec, absolutely. Which is what they're going to do. It sounds like on Buemi's car as well. Can they fix the back end of Buemi's car though?
Yeah.
Can they take that off and put the new bit on, or is it just going to take too long? Well, crikey.
I'm honestly, Dario, the safety car's coming in this lap. I mean, Nico Prost is the race leader, by the way.
Yeah.
Nick Heidfeld in second, Abt in third, Turvey fourth, Bird fifth, Byrne sixth. Safety car coming in this lap. What a race we're going to have now, nevertheless. I cannot believe that just happened.
No, and Abt's done a heck of a job. He's got past two people.
Yeah. I mean, jeez. And this may well affect the team's championship as well. Actually, no, because they needed a big haul of points from Degrassi for him to be able to overtake
so here we
the
go.
team's championship.
Nico Prost is going to head off here at the safety car line.
Safety car comes in and the final round of the season gets back underway. Nico Prost, the race leader, as he was yesterday. Nick Heidfeld in second place for Mahindra. Fantastic start from him. Degrassi's having to wait until the whole field have come past. So I think that's going to put him a lap down. And Buemi's been given a black flag with an orange disc, which means you have to pit because there's something wrong with the car. And
Sam Bird has passed Jean-Eric Verne, his teammate. So
Bird up to 5th, Verne down to 6th, and then finally Lucas Degrassi can go. But basically it's going to be a battle between Degrassi and Buemi to try and set the fastest lap. And you'd have to say that the favourite for that would be this man, Sebastian Buemi, who's returning to the pits now.
I think if you asked Lucas Degrassi, you would, because he's clearly the faster car. That is just incredible. And that, what to say on that is just incredible. I mean, really, you couldn't believe it. So here comes Sebastian Buemi limping into the pits here. It looks like they're not going to bother trying to change that wing. Maybe they can't. Maybe the damage is too much. Maybe it just takes too long to change that rear sort of pod coming off.
And puncture as well on the left rear. And here comes Oliver Turvey. He's under a pressure from Sam Bird. Bird loses it, goes sideways, just about
outside.
Keeps it all together and goes
Bird
round the
passes
outside
him.
of Turvey.
The Battle of Britain there, and passes him.
And now Jean-Eric Verne is going to get stuck into this one as well. He looks to the outside now. Verne hit Turvey an awful lot in the race yesterday, which put Turvey out of the ePrix. So I don't think Turvey's going to move over and let Jean-Eric Verne and say après-vous very quickly.
There is no love lost between those two. And you see Sebastian Buemi here, swapped cars. He's in his other Renault and ready to go out and try and set that fastest lap.
So Prost leads at the end of lap number 3. We're on to lap 4 of 33 now. Heidfeld second, 3rd for Daniel Abt, 4th for Sam Bird, 5th for Oliver Turvey. Then it's Verne, Piquet, Conway, D'Ambrosio, Senna da Costa Freynt, Sarrazin de Silvestro, and here comes Lucas Degrassi coming around the final couple of corners now as well.
And Lucas has got to get a significant gap because he's going to be travelling.
Oh, there's an attack, and that's big work from Duvalin. Slams into the side of Simona de Silvestro. Nothing really Simona could do there. It didn't look as though Loic was actually going to turn.
But did you see the reaction from the marshal? Yellow flag on the ready. Here's Lucas Degrassi. He sounds like he's still cruising. He's probably trying to build tyre temperature and pressure there before attacking. And that he's going to get a couple of laps here. You know, he's got to take advantage of that. The championship could come down to the fastest lap, like you've said. I think if Degrassi does it, they'll take it away from him.
Interesting. Well, there's an interesting theory. On what grounds?
What we just saw. I mean, I don't think he did it on purpose. Let's be very, very clear on that. He did not do that on purpose. He was caught unawares by how early Sebastian Buemi braked, but he still ran into the back of him. You could see him turning hard left to get away from Buemi's acceleration in front of him. But there was nowhere to go.
So the battle's on for second place now. Nick Heidfeld in front of Daniel Abt. Daniel Abt can sense the opportunity of trying to get his first Formula E victory.
Is past Turvey.
And let's have a look at that.
Yeah, yes.
Verne is in front of Oliver Turvey then. So Turvey now in 6th, Piquet his teammate in 7th, Mike Conway is in 8th. I think Bruno Senna's got a bit of damage to his front wing in all of that melee. I'm amazed it was only those two that got caught up in that melee as well. Normally, I thought that would be a concertina effect.
Yeah, well, there wasn't. They hit him so hard they just fired off down the escape road, didn't they?
That's true. They almost ended up having a drink in the pub on the corner of Chelsea Bridge Road as they hurl their way through the chicane. What a shot.
Through there.
Absolutely fantastic. Lap 5 of 53.
Buemi is still in the pits here. He's obviously waiting. I think he probably thinks the track's going to improve as it rubbers in.
And lap 5 of 33. So Buemi, presumably they're waiting for, they're not trying to score points in this ePrix. They're not trying to, limp around and get to the end, maybe grab a 10th, maybe grab a 9th. The only focus now is on setting the fastest lap. Big lock-up from Oliver Turvey, but the man from Cumbria manages to get it stopped in time.
Now, there was a concertina effect here between Piquet when he lifted and Conway almost ran into the back of him. That's simply because of the lifting coast here, and that you've got to be very, very careful of that. And because of length of the race this year, they have to be careful of that. They have to be so much lifting and coasting. Almost 900 meters a lap of lifting and coasting in some cars.
Wow, that's a good fact.
Yeah.
I'm glad we have you along. Lap 6 of 33 now as Nico Prost comes across the line to be 1.6 seconds ahead of Nick Heidfeld. Daniel Abt in third, Bird in fourth, pulling away comfortably now from Jean-Eric Vergne. Then it's Turvey and Piquet, then it's Conway, then it's D'Ambrosio, then it's Bruno Senna completing the top 10. Then Da Costa frames. Now here we go, on board with Degrassi. The question is, did he brake? And on first viewing, he lifted and coasted well early, but then didn't actually brake, you know?
They can look at his data. The FIA will be able to look at this data, but listen.
There he is, off the throttle there.
Off. Did he brake? I don't know. But he was definitely coasting. I did not do that on purpose. That's not what it would have looked like.
What would it have looked like?
He'd have stayed on the throttle a lot longer.
What, he'd have just rammed him?
Yeah, I think so. I think he was trying to get out of it, and I honestly think it just caught him unawares.
Well, we'll be discussing this one for a while. Lap 6 of 33. Prost, Heidfeld at the top 3 here in Battersea Park, the season finale of the second season of FIA Formula E.
And it's Degrassi's second car. He can use fan boost for his fastest lap.
Ooh,
if he gets
so
it.
can Buemi.
So can Buemi.
But they were in the top 3 previously.
Well, Degrassi, we're on board now. Sector 1, fastest of all, 15.4 through Sector 1. And he's got to do this. Any chance of the championship, I would say he's got to get this fastest lap.
Now, but the fan boosting. Well, this can't be it then. This can't be it. As we go on board with him.
But you know, you listen to him brake for that chicane, and you can't really.
Oh, also, fan boost doesn't count for fastest lap now this season. Forgot about that. My apologies.
Thank you. I should really know that.
Yeah.
Degrassi, Sector 2 quickest also. And let's see here. Now, remember, the timeline is the start-finish line. Now, not this timeline here.
Yeah.
That changed for the race.
Onto the brakes, through the left-hander.
1:27.58 is the fastest lap right now. And we have the 1:27.0. He's going to have to go. He's going to have to go quicker than that, guys.
Yeah.
Sebastian Buemi did a 1:24.0 this morning, 1:24.2 in race trim.
Yeah, but Degrassi was lifting and coasting.
Yeah.
So he set the fastest lap for now, but Sebastian Buemi hasn't even left the. Oh, Sam Bird! Sam Bird going slowly. A problem potentially for that DS Virgin car.
Don't see damage. So
but it sounds pretty quiet, doesn't it?
Yeah. Maybe it's a problem with the drivetrain. I don't know. It sounds, you know, you can't see any. He hasn't had any contact with the wall.
So Sam Bird cruising, and this could bring out a virtual safety car.
Sam,
or
can
a
you
safety car.
I need you to move the pedal to try and find a point that might work.
It sounds like an actuator issue.
Yeah, play with the pedal, try and find a point that might work.
Nothing is working, Patrick. I've lost all power. Lost all power.
Bird has lost all power, but these guys have won the fan boost. Stefan Sarazan, Sebastian Buemi, and Lucas Degrassi.
And then come back to P1 and P2.
And but they can't use that fan boost to set the fastest lap of the race. So Degrassi has it at the moment. Buemi still hasn't left the pits.
No, Degrassi's on another fast lap there. He's quickest yet again. Safety car deployed again.
Oh, just as Degrassi's done 2 fast sectors, so safety car out, and that is not good news for Lucas Degrassi, because that was his one chance of pushing hard and setting a fastest lap.
I would say Senna's got some damage. Just looking there, Senna's got some damage on his front wing too.
Yeah.
To the box, we're parking pit lane.
So there is the Qualcomm safety car. The second time we've seen the Qualcomm safety car deployed. I got a ride in the Qualcomm safety car.
Can we fix the other car?
That's Degrassi asking.
No, this will not be possible.
Degrassi asking
Other
if they
cars
can fix the
under
other
park
car.
from air conditions.
But once you pit and swap into the other car, that car becomes into park firm conditions, as his engineer has just explained. So Buemi, just chilling, just waiting for the right time to go.
They've got a laptop there. Are they turning it up to 12 opposed to 11? They're doing everything they can, because motor longevity, any of that stuff is out of the window right now. It doesn't matter. They can throw those motors in the bin tonight.
Absolutely. But they still have to run at a maximum of 170 kilowatts of power. But can you push it beyond that? So this is how the championship would stand at the moment. Lucas Degrassi has set the fastest lap. So by 2 points, he would beat Sebastian Buemi.
We've got 26 laps to go.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Well, there we go. And Bird's out the car.
Yeah. It sounded like it was a throttle actuator issue. Obviously, it's fly-by-wire, but he couldn't get it. He was moving the throttle. It wasn't. The motor at the back was not responding to that. So. And then the trying season for Sam, I would say.
He's had some fantastic moments.
Oh, he won a race, and he was season high, 3 pole positions there.
Yep, and well, he was matched today by Sebastian Buemi, who took his 3rd pole position of the season. As they make their way around behind the Qualcomm safety car, then hopefully it won't be too long before we get Sam Bird's car cleared.
The Costa's gone from 14th to 9th, and I understand we've lost three guys through attrition so far, but that's pretty sporty.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, attrition, to put it very mildly, for Lucas Di Grassi and Sebastian Buemi. Lap 9 of 33 here in London. Thank you very much for joining us for the final round of this Formula E Championship. Absolutely phenomenal first corner. It's a shame. If it ends like this, it is a shame, I think.
It's a massive shame.
Because you want to see the cars fighting it out on track, on the circuit.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And it's one of those situations that I'm sure Lucas is going to get all kinds of hate mail, or whatever the modern equivalent is. Hate tweets, I guess. But I honestly don't think he did it on purpose. It just didn't look like one of those moves.
When was the last time Di Grassi had a crash with someone?
I don't know. My
when was the
memory's
last
terrible.
time Di Grassi had a crash?
I had to stop driving because I bashed my head too many times, so I'm not the guy to ask.
It's just so very rare for that kind of thing to happen.
Exactly. Look at Buemi's face. He's still chilled. He was on the radio and he was chilled.
Here we go. So Di Grassi there.
He's trying to avoid him.
But Dario, he hits him with so much speed. He was going so much quicker than them.
Yeah, I know it's caught him by surprise. Well, he would have made the corner, but it's caught him by surprise. Why else would he turn hard left? I don't. He's maybe thinking he's going to have a go up the inside. I don't know. But he's off the throttle. If you're going to hit him, you're not off the throttle that early. Yeah. Did he even get to the brake pedal? I don't know.
But you must, if you wanted to make that corner, you would have got to the brake pedal by that point, wouldn't you?
Not necessarily. Here comes a safety car in. So Nico Prost.
For the second time in this race, Nico Prost has to take away a safety car restart as the Qualcomm safety car pulls into the pits, and we're racing again here in Baxley Park.
Grassi's in the pits.
Yep.
Now, Nico Prost's got to be loving this. This is 2 races in a row. He's had a perfect clear view. He wants next season's race in Hong Kong to start tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. He is finishing with a real flourish this season, Nico Prost. Nick Heidfeld in 2nd place, who was a little bit unawares, really, at the restart. Not really close enough to challenge Prost, which was a bit of a surprise. Abt then behind in 3rd position for the Abt team. Then Jean-Eric Verne for DS Virgin in 4th place. Oliver Turvey down to 5th for Next EV as the cars shock their way through that chicane.
The amount of slide they have through that chicane still catches me by surprise. Great shot. So as far as the usable energy, it's all pretty much status quo right now.
Well, we've had a couple of laps as well behind the safety car, haven't we? So they're going to be able to push. Whether they'll push longer into the race,
they'll be able to push harder, won't they? They'll be able to push harder, but they'll still be coasting quite a lot.
So onto the brakes for the chicane. So if neither of Di Grassi or Buemi set the fastest lap, then it goes to countback, and in which case Lucas Di Grassi has had more 3rd places than Sebastian Buemi. Let's just watch this though, because this is all going to get very, very feisty. To the outside goes Senna. Oh, and Frains has gone on the back of Jerome D'Ambrosio. Senna's involved in that squabble as well. He already had some nose damage, but Frains, despite mounting D'Ambrosio, appears to be carrying on.
I think Da Costa sort of backed everybody up there into that corner. Was it Da Costa or was it Frains that caused that? No, I think it was Da Costa backed everybody up into that chicane, and you saw the result of it. It's all happening.
Yep.
Oh, back wing hanging off the Dragon car.
Okay, so that must have been from where the contact happened. He'll get a black and orange flag.
D'Ambrosio's car back wing is hanging off. The last thing you want is that thing flying off you.
So we'll just try and keep an eye out for that one. It's behind this battle. Here they come, and Next car through, it should be.
Second car. Here we are. Look, that wing hanging off.
The right-hand stanchion has come away for Jerome D'Ambrosio. Miserable weekend for Dragon. They will be very much looking forward to next season now.
And Da Costa is driving that thing all kinds of sideways there. Came into view into turn 8, absolutely on the rack stops. He's trying to get away. The guy that looks like he's under pressure right now to me, Nick Heidfeld, because Daniel Abt, John-Eric Byrne, right up behind him. Yeah, he's passing. No, he's still there. Sorry, got a bit excited. Too much coffee before the race.
So Daniel Abt cut right up behind Nick Heidfeld. Another point from Nick Holland here, using hashtag London ePrix. Degrassi could use his teammate Daniel Abt potentially to try and take fastest lap away. In the second car, they could sacrifice Abt's finishing position, because even if he finished third, Renault would still win the team's title. They sacrificed Abt. All you've got to do is try and take the fastest lap away from Buemi, if Buemi were to get it. But at the moment, it's Degrassi that has the fastest lap. If neither of them set the fastest lap, Degrassi wins the championship on countback, because he's had more third places. They can't go back out in their first cars, because once you swap cars, the first car is under Parc Fermé. That's why we've got Degrassi and Buemi sat in the pits, just waiting for the right moment to go on track and try and set the fastest lap of the race. And this is it.
You know, I don't think Degrassi did it on purpose. I feel terrible for Buemi.
Yeah,
absolutely. He's done nothing wrong. He is the victim here, absolutely. And I'm surprised he's remaining so calm. Look at the amount of downforce on that Renault Edam's car. That thing's cranked up.
Yeah. Now the other point is, if Degrassi were to be disqualified from this race, for example, he would then lose his points for fastest lap. So that's how they could do it if they deemed Degrassi to be seriously at fault. So many fascinating opinions coming in using hashtag London ePrix. Jack Mitchell saying Degrassi slows at the same time as Edams, and then it seems like he releases the brakes and stops slowing down at the same amount of speed. Fascinating stuff.
I'm not sure he ever got on them.
Here's
Daniel Abt's trying this move.
Trying to get past Nick Heidfeld. This is the battle for second place then. Nick Heidfeld, the German, for the Mahindra team. 183 F1 starts for Sauber, Jordan, Lotus and Williams. Under pressure from the 23-year-old. Oh, Robin Frains is off and he's broken his front right. He's had a collision surely out there somewhere. Not the way the Dutchman would have wanted his race to finish, and that could be another Qualcomm safety car.
I think you're right. He's hit somebody else, it looks like, just with the damages there where he stopped. It looks like he's hit somebody else. Maybe he's tried to go down the inside.
And there is the Qualcomm safety car. Safety car deployed.
Buemi's coming back in though, isn't he? Because it doesn't serve him to run round behind the
so Da Costa's still going. My guess would be it was Senna, because Senna is now dropped back.
Il va falloir pas trop attendre non plus, parce qu'avec des safety cars toutes les 2 minutes.
So Buemi will come back into the pits.
On est d'accord avec toi, il y a encore 20 tours, tu avais tout à fait raison.
I know I've said it already.
Yeah.
But
Showbox.
He's worked all season, you know, for this championship.
Donc tu t'arrêtes devant, tu restes dans ta voiture.
He's a fiery character. And he's as calm as you like.
Yeah.
You know, fair play to him. Look at that. Look at those eyes. Just, yeah. I can't imagine what's going through his head right now. And there's Robin Frains with. They've had a lot of damage this weekend, the Andretti guys.
Yeah.
They have torn up a lot of stuff. Hopefully we can see what happened. Here the marshal's calling to him.
Here we go then. And is it Senna? Oh no, it's Duval. Duval, oh, he's just shoved him in the wall there.
He's fed him into the wall, hasn't he?
Yeah. So that was a bit brutal, I think.
Yeah, that was fairly.
I don't really know what. When I see incidents, I don't know what. And I think Duval's an excellent driver, but I never know what he's trying to achieve there, because
he's trying to get him to back off.
But he's driving himself into a shunt in the braking zone. Surely Frains is braking as hard as he can.
I don't think he damaged his car, did he? And he's just thinking, right, oi, get out of the way, back off.
Well, what was it you said earlier on, Dario? At the start of this race, you said,
God knows.
well, you know, you said they're going to go for it. They don't need these cars anymore. They can wreck them.
Yes.
Were you expecting something quite like this?
Not as early, and not as close to the front. I mean, I expected maybe incidents like we've just seen with Robin and the Dragon car. I wasn't maybe expecting the start with Sebastian Buemi, Lucas Di Grassi.
So we are down now to 13 cars that are on the lead lap. 18 started, and Robin Frains out of the race.
Abandoned in the middle of the track.
Absolutely. So that's the race.
If it keeps going at this rate, you know, Di Grassi could have scored points.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, here we see it again. Lap 1. Watch the yellow and green car and red of Lucas Di Grassi.
This is just a replay of the start.
Good start. You can see Nico Prost looking over. Now look at Buemi looking into his right and left mirrors. Where is everybody? Everything's looking sort of semi-normal here. And then watch him here. He starts to look.
It's all the same, and then suddenly...
Yeah, it's like he doesn't... I don't know what happens, whether the brakes don't work. You know, as far as just they were cold and they hadn't grabbed yet. But you can see him. The reason he pushes into Prost is to get out of the way, because he can see what's coming.
But he slows down at the same rate as the Renault guys initially.
Yeah, no,
but then just woof.
Yeah, but they brake, and I don't... This is coast to coast, coast. He brakes, he doesn't.
He's in the wall.
Lucky not to go over that Tech Pro barrier.
This is on board with Buemi.
This will be ugly. That helpless feeling of getting hit like that. He's done everything right. There you go. Use the gear stick.
Ah, there we go.
We saw it.
Here we go.
He's lifting early. He's coasting early. Oh man. Oh, he did lift early, but that's no. Again, it's up to the guy at the back.
A feeling Prost remembers well, I think. Yeah. Felt like Suzuka 1990.
Except they're thinking, oh, he braked, and they're thinking, oh, he hit us.
Qualcomm safety car in this lap. And so once again, for the third time, Prost will lead the Qualcomm safety car, lead the race once the Qualcomm safety car comes in. Now, thank you, merci bien, Nina Rochette, who translates the EDAM's radio for us. And Buemi's basically saying we shouldn't wait too long because there's a safety car every 2 minutes. And they're saying we agree, box. So presumably Buemi will go straight out as soon as the safety car comes in.
Yeah, he'll let them get half a lap ahead, I would say, probably to about where they are now, and then head out and go for it and attack.
Well,
he's got the pace to do it.
He certainly has. Now Nick Heidfeld looks at the usable energy here. He's got 30%, but there's still a battle for the win here to come. The Qualcomm safety car coming in now, and usable energy-wise, Heidfeld in a worse position than Nico Prost, and Daniel Abt in third place, then Byrne in fourth. We've lost Sam Bird from this race. We lost Simona de Silvestro as well. Did we see why we lost Simona?
I didn't see why we lost Simona.
No, so she has stopped on the circuit. She is out of the race, maybe as a result of that collision she had with one of the Dragon cars, Loic Duval, but it didn't seem like a big hit.
Here we go.
Qualcomm safety car comes in, lap 14 of 33, and once again, he's nowhere near Nick Heidfeld. It's like he doesn't want to be close to the back of Nico Prost. It's strange, isn't it?
I think Daniel Abt does, and he's going to make short work of getting by him here, I would say. Getting him out of the way, because he's holding him up, I think, as well. But yeah, that gap's just, he's gone.
Yeah. So Prost leads, Heidfeld second, Abt third, fourth, Jean-Eric Vergne, fifth, Oliver Turvey, sixth, Nelson Piquet, Mike Conway right up behind Piquet, still that rear wing flopping around on Jerome D'Ambrosio's car. Green flag racing once again here at Battersea Park as they turn through the left-hander at Prince Albert and head their way through the chicanes.
Nico Prost is gone already. Look, he's disappeared. This is what he did yesterday. He drove a fantastic race. Mike Conway looks like he's trying to set up a pass there.
Yeah, he's been right on the back of Nelson Piquet for a while now. Now Buemi has gone out onto the circuit, so we'll keep an eye out on his sector times.
His in-car will be worth the price of admission when he goes on that lap.
Yes, absolutely. As they now here comes Daniel Abt. Surely he's going to be close enough for a look this time around, trying to get past Nick Heidfeld. Battle for second place. Heidfeld in the red and white Mahindra. Daniel Abt in the red, yellow and green Abt car. Not quite close enough at the moment.
Let's see if he sets him up through 13 here, going into the chicane at 14. That would be the move right now. You've got to get out, tuck out of the slipstream about now. Not enough. Yeah, Nick's been very defensive here. I think Daniel Abt, he just hit him there. Going to start getting very, very aggressive.
So this unofficially, Renault also pretty much have got the team's championship in the bag because Degrassi cannot score many points and they were 40 points behind. They basically needed a 1-2 Abt in order to rob Renault of the championship. So they have essentially won the title because Degrassi won't be able to score many points, but obviously we'll wait to the end of the race. But things looking good from that point of view, whatever happens. Look how close Daniel Abt is to the back of the Mahindra car.
Now the second Dragon car is still out there with the damage. Still running around with that damaged rear wing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fais exprès de sortir devant moi.
Not quite sure whose team radio that was.
Sounded like Buemi.
Ok, bah, si tu peux pas pousser, tu feras un box.
Buemi having a conversation, sounds like he's saying box, so that's interesting. Daniel Abt still not quite close enough to the Mahindra of Nick Heidfeld to make a move, even though he's
closing up here.
a % more usable energy. Here he comes, down to the second of the swimming pool chicanes, and Heidfeld just floating around in the middle of the circuit.
Frustration level is building.
And look how close Abt is here. He's almost pushing him as they come round the long left-hander at Rosary Gate. And Buemi
is Buemi too close?
I think he's too close to Degrassi at the moment. Yeah, they're right together on the circuit, so that's interesting. I wonder, surely Degrassi's not intentionally slowing down, so Buemi can't do a fast lap.
I don't think so.
Exprès de m'attendre. Il m'attend exprès.
Hopefully, well, that's interesting. Degrassi's car has now gone back up to 96% usable energy, whereas before it was down at 60 something. So that must be a little glitch, I imagine. Meanwhile, Abt is still not quite close enough to get past Nick Heidfeld in the battle over second position. And Buemi, so Buemi on the team radio, we have other French speakers out there saying he's waiting for me especially, is what Buemi reckons.
Well, I would think the same in that situation. Whether that's what's happening or not, I don't know. Whether he's trying to get gap to the back of the field so Degrassi can set that time himself, I don't know.
Andre Harrison is with us on this one.
Buemi's in the pits.
Yep. Andre Harrison says, using hashtag London ePrix, I have no words for this race. And moderately agree with that one.
Yeah, Jack Nicholls is struggling too. You heard it today. Jack was speechless. It's never happened before. His mum and dad told me.
Buemi back in the pits.
Oh, big move round the outside.
Abt trying to get through, and he has done it, but he's skipped across the chicane as a result.
Everybody's been doing that anyway.
Well,
I think that's completely fair. You know, the sort of the blocking that was going on. Yeah, and here comes the Virgin car, Jean-Eric Verne. Same
that's
result.
not going to work. That's not going to work. He's going to have to get out of that one, and he just about is. And now Turvey is right on the back of Jean-Eric Verne as well.
He might repay the favour from yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. So Prost, it is leading. This is on board with Antonio Felix da Costa, who's now in 8th position. Look at that. How close can he get to the back of Nelson Piquet Jr.?
Apparently, Formula E is becoming a contact sport.
So hang on, so da Costa now has got past Conway then on that lap. Da Costa's got past Conway and up into 7th place. Conway drops down to 8th.
Now Buemi is now out of the pits. Again.
He's just behind Nico Prost, Sebastian Buemi. So Buemi has filtered into that 7-second gap there behind Nico Prost. So that means he should be able to get some clear air to set the fastest lap.
I am really confused what the game plan is. Maybe these guys are going to have to pit now, and when they pit, he will have an open track.
That's true.
That must be what he's thinking of doing. It's the only thing that makes somewhat sense. So he's going to have clear track when they pit.
Yep, so there's Heidfeld now in 3rd place, then Verne in 4th. Then look how much pressure Piquet's under. Look how much pressure Heidfeld's under. Jean-Eric Verne right behind in that silver and purple DS Virgin car. Didn't know which way to go. Goes for the outside to try and repeat what Daniel Abt did. That's a bold one. That was a clumsy one, and it didn't really work out. It was always going to be a long shot, and that's going to allow Oliver Turvey, the man who feels pretty enraged over what Verne did to him yesterday, to try and attack. That's the view further back. We're missing out on the action here as they're going side by side down into the corner, and not quite able to get through there was Oliver Turvey. And now they all dive into the pits except Mike Conway, who with 6% remaining reckons he can work this one out, you know. Look at this. Heidfeld and Verne side by side. Verne gesticulating, saying, "Qu'est-ce que c'est?"
That's not going to help, is it, really?
No. Right, into the pits they come. Buemi's going for the fastest lap now because he's just gone purple in the final sector. A personal best in the 1st sector. There they are waiting in the pits. Nico Prost changes car. It should be quite straightforward for him. Daniel Abt.
I'm glad it is for someone.
Exactly.
They just got to get this nice conservative stop here for Nico Prost. 7.7 second lead coming in.
Now Buemi's got some traffic. It's Martin Poir.
Yeah, he'll deal with him pretty quickly, you would think.
But when you're trying to set fastest lap,
he's got a bit of time.
Away goes Prost. He will resume the lead of the race. Out then goes Daniel Abt. And he's comfortable, Daniel Abt, in that what will be a net 2nd position.
Now it's about to get busy. Look, the 2 dragon cars getting close.
Look at that. And Buemi did get blocked by Tianhua, we believe. Out comes Prost then to continue. Mike Conway still has to pit. Everybody else is making their way out of the pits now.
Conway 1% left.
Is he going to make it back to the pits in time? He's just coming up to the final chicane now, Mike Conway.
And asking a lot.
He's got it. If it's as long as it's on 1%, when that little switch around sign comes, oh, Da Costa late on the brakes. As long as we don't see Conway at 0%, there we go. Conway just made it. So impressive stuff.
But if he has to slow down to make it, what's he gained? I don't know. Yeah, good point. Good point.
But he'll have a more usable energy in the next guy. There's Jean-Paul Driot.
Wonder where he's going.
Going for lunch. Yeah, go for lunch. Exactly.
That'll be the steward's office, ladies and gentlemen, up there. That's exactly where he's going. He wants to know what's going on. Sebastian Buemi, fastest through sector 1.
So here we go then. Buemi starting to lay the marker down.
Here we are on board with him.
Verne has jumped Heidfeld in those pit stops as well, by the way. And so Jean-Eric Verne now in front of Heidfeld. There's more traffic coming up, though, for Sebastian Buemi.
And this car in front is going to be lifting and coasting here.
It's Martin Qua again.
This has got to be
but maybe he's not going to catch him.
He's catching him. Because
and Mars locked up.
Yeah, this
Why? They've obviously just not given themselves enough room.
I don't know how much room you can give him. He's going like 5 seconds a lap quicker.
There's a whole... Honestly, I'm looking at the track mapper here. There's 3/4 of the lap behind Sebastian Buemi.
I know.
Conway pits. Prost resumes the lead of the race.
Okay. He's got to get him here. Yeah, he's got to pass him.
And if he doesn't do it into this corner now...
Oh, man.
He's not going to get a clean lap here either.
This is testing his patience. Oh, here comes somebody else out of the pits.
And that's Lucas Di Grassi then. And it's Di Grassi! It's Di Grassi! That's Di Grassi that's just come out of the pits in front of Sebastian Buemi.
Buemi has taken his left.
But Buemi got it! But Buemi got it! He had a horrible final sector.
But it's not enough.
126.056.
It's not enough, I don't think, Jack.
What? Because you think Di Grassi will go for
sharp, les mecs là. Là, vous êtes des amateurs. Alors maintenant, vous me dites ce que je dois faire et je le fais.
Yeah, I think I've got the gist of what...
I did a 24/7.
Tu te détends. On est en train de gérer la situation. Tu as signé le meilleur tour. 1 seconde d'avance sur Di Grassi. Donc essaye de bien le suivre.
Now, Buemi has to go so slowly here. I mean, this is almost farcical what's going on here. It's ridiculous. There's a race going on here, and Nico Prost is leading. Da Costa is all over the back of Nick Heidfeld.
So,
but guys, this is where the championship, I know we're focusing on this, but this is where the championship, what it might come down to here. We don't know.
Oh, so we think Di Grassi's fastest lap has been deleted. Sounded like what he said, because Di Grassi came over the radio and said, oh, I did a 24.7.
Look how close these guys are. The Dragon cars, the Mahindra, the 2 Venturis here, the 2 Next TV TCR cars coming in at shot. It's pretty close.
So this is absolutely fascinating stuff that is unfolding here, because we heard Di Grassi say on the radio, I did a 24/7.
Yeah.
But that lap time appears to have gone.
Unless the stewards have already made a decision.
And got rid of that lap.
Big move.
Oh, there goes Jerome D'Ambrosio up the inside of Nelson Piquet. He's been trying to do that for a while now. And Jerome D'Ambrosio up into 7th spot.
Duval's trying to do the same thing. Look, Duval, his teammate in the red Dragon car there, trying to do the same thing.
Well, we're doing our best, folks, to bring you what's going on here, but it is a slightly complex scenario. Nico Prost is leading the ePrix, 7 seconds clear of Daniel Abt. Then in 3rd place is Jean-Eric Verne. 4th, Nick Heidfeld. 5th, Da Costa now. So Da Costa doing a really good job. He's got in front of Oliver Turvey. And there he is now on the back of Nick Heidfeld. This is impressive stuff from the Portuguese racer. And wow, so Buemi's using some harsh language over the radio. That little conversation, he said to the team, you're being amateurs, tell me what I have to do. And the team replied saying, chill, you have the fastest lap. But Di Grassi thought he got a fastest lap already. He's done a personal best in the 1st sector and he's gone in too deep.
I have to say, I'm with Buemi on this. You need clear instructions from the team, because not only is your day, your season falling apart here, but they're not telling him exactly what he has to do. And so they have to be clear on their instructions. Do this, get the fastest lap, or what, you know, we've given you the right gap. They keep sending him out their own blinking spot. So I'm getting frustrated. Look at that. Yeah, Lucas Di Grassi almost watered it up there in the turn 11-12 chicane. Just too late on the brakes.
So the other question is, how much usable energy does Degrassi have? So he has 71%, so...
How did that happen? Did he go in and recharge it or something?
Quite possibly.
Are you allowed to do that?
Okay, so race controller saying Degrassi doesn't have a lap disallowed, even though we heard that on team radio, and Degrassi seemed to say he did a 24.7. Race controller saying that hasn't happened.
Okay.
Unless he did a 24.7 with fan boost.
Maybe.
And that lap wasn't disallowed, but that's what he's getting confused with.
It's definitely possible.
Well, again...
Buemi on track. The DaCosta here is trying to make this move on Heidfeld.
Oh,
bit of a dummy.
I thought he was going to go for it there. Prost's lead up the way, by the way,
He's
is up to
setting him up
7.7 seconds.
He's setting him up, Jack.
This is the battle of
try
four.
and make the big move. DaCosta's going to try. Is he close enough to pull out, pass on the inside? Not close enough. Heidfeld making that car wide again.
Not quite close enough. This is as it stands. Buemi would win the championship, having set the fastest lap. And if this is your first taste of Formula E, it's not usually this confusing, I promise you.
It's normally this bonkers, but it's not quite this confusing.
Exactly. So we think Degrassi, so whichever, Buemi or Degrassi, whoever does the fastest lap will win the championship. That's the end of the story.
Unless the stewards intervene.
Well, exactly.
Which is a distinct possibility. And there's Ma. Buemi will not be sending him a Christmas card, I would say.
No, absolutely not. Look at DaCosta really trying to get past Nick Heidfeld, get into fourth position as they swing their way through the chicanes now.
Coming down to turn 8. He's going to try and set him up again here. Set him up, get close through here. And here we go, we're on board with Buemi again. Faster through sector 2, a 15.3. Not a bad first sector. He's pushing. He's going to push through that sector 3.
Oh, big lockup from DaCosta. Just about gets it stopped. And now he's still battling with Nick Heidfeld in that white, black and red Mahindra over fourth position. Here comes Buemi across the line.
26.0 is set right now, fastest lap. And it's a 24.5.
Oh, that's going to be close to unbeatable.
Okay, Seb. And he's just gone, okay, guys, beat that.
Yeah, that is a very difficult lap time to beat. A mid 1 minute 24.
That's strong.
Yeah.
And you see DaCosta again still putting the pressure on. Just trying to get by Nick Heidfeld, looking for a chink in the armour there. Just is there any kind of gap? And the dragon cars behind the two red dragon cars are getting unbelievably close to each other too.
Lap 24 of 33 here in FIA Formula E, the season finale in Battersea Park in London. And what a spectacle we are being treated to. Big lock up the two dragons. Are they going to hit each other? No. Duval just got it stopped. Not for the first time this season. The two of them almost come together.
That first race in China, they had that mighty moment together.
10 laps to go. Lap 24 of 33. At the moment, Nico Prost leads. 8 seconds clear of Daniel Abt in second place. That would mean that Renault would wrap up the team's championship. Verne in third, Heidfeld fourth, and as it stands, Sebastian Buemi would get 2 points for setting the fastest lap of the race, which would mean he would wrap up the Drivers' Championship. Degrassi just did a 24.9, 4/10 of a second slower. Not quick enough for Lucas Degrassi.
Super slow-mo coming up. Look at this, completely misses the chicane and off he goes. Now watch the puff of smoke out the back of the car. That's just the car grounding out on that curve and taking off a little bit. Now, it would appear that Heidfeld has managed to pull away just a little bit from DaCosta.
And have got the same amount of usable energy remaining as well, 60% for Heidfeld and for Antonio Felix DaCosta. So that battle seems to have calmed down just a little bit. Jean-Eric Verne now 1.3 seconds behind Daniel Abt, so Abt looks fairly comfortable in that third position.
And they've really dropped that group for up to 8th place there with Duval. They've really dropped off Nelson Piquet off the back of that group quite substantially there.
Oliver Turvey, his teammate, is still hanging on in 6th place, which is really a good performance. Obviously qualified today, P4.
Turvey's having a stonking weekend.
Yeah, he really is. He really is. He should have a podium by right now. And there's the Guri garage.
Mark Preston watching on there. Sebastian Buemi just sat in the pit lane,
keeping his powder dry in case his
his nemesis at this point. That man there, Lucas Di Grassi, beats his fastest lap.
But he's coming into the pits, so Buemi, as it stands, 2 points clear of Lucas Di Grassi because he has set the fastest lap of the race. Nico Prost would finish third in the standings with Sam Bird in fourth. Race leader Nico Prost through the final corner once more. 2 days now, Prost has just disappeared up the road. Supreme performance.
You know, and he's just so calm about the whole thing there, just looking at that performance, just driving away, nothing hurried and making it look easy. But it is anything but easy what he's doing there. Daniel Abt P2, Jean-Eric Vergne there in the DS Virgin car P3. And then Heifeld's got a bit of a train behind him, but he's gapped it again. I wonder if he was saving a little bit of energy just to give him a bit of a cushion, and now he's getting after it.
Bruno Senna gets rid of a tear off, and well, Piquet's in trouble here because Piquet has lost out to Senna, and now, oh, they're going to go side by side. Just keeps it out of the wall, Nelson Piquet. Oh, and here comes Mike Conway, all crossed up, nearly cruising into the back of his teammate. But Piquet must be running into some dramas here because he's suddenly dropping back down the field like a stone.
Yeah, and he's got 52% left in usable energy, so I don't know what's going on there, if they've had an issue. But the result is backwards he goes.
That 26 of 33, 8 laps remaining. Here we go again. And
to pass somebody there, Jack, there's definitely something wrong. Piquet's out in the dirt, on the bad side of the camber there, thinking, uh-oh, here comes the wall.
And then here comes Conway, all locked up like a Bromley boy racer.
Yeah, on the crown of the road too. I bet he had his eyes closed. And there's the Dragon Boys again, running nose to tail.
26 of 33. And it's all starting to calm down a little bit in that Heidfeld-Da Costa-Turvey battle. They're just starting to pull a little bit away from one another. We've got 7 laps to go now, and Nico Prost comes across the line, 7.8 seconds clear of Daniel Abt. Then it's Jean-Eric Vergne in 3rd position for DS Virgin. 4th there coming towards us is Nick Heidfeld for Mahindra, up in front of Antonio Felix da Costa for Team Aguri. Then it is the next EV car of Oliver Turvey. Then the 2 Dragon cars of D'Ambrosio and Duval. And here comes Di Grassi.
Leaving the pits again.
And what's his usable energy? We'll see it, I think, when he comes out onto the pits. And all he's got to do is set the fastest lap, and then he wins the championship.
Is that all? Buemi's just sitting there. He's going to keep an eye on that. They'll probably send him back out with a couple of laps to go here.
He's come out behind Martin Croix.
Oh, God. Yeah, Matt's actually just got a drive-through penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Yeah.
So that's kind of ironic, really. But yeah, I would say Buemi's going to go out and cover in a second here as Nico Prost goes serenely about his way, bouncing over these curbs at the track here in Battersea, just getting on with it, like I said.
So, through the Millennium Chicane comes Nico Prost, just like yesterday, driving off up the road.
You know, and there's nothing to be gained by, you know, they're not losing any weight, the fuel burning off, there's no tire degradation. It's just getting out there.
And they've timed it so Buemi comes out behind Prost.
Yeah, coming out behind Prost. Yeah, you just get out there and go as hard as you can. These guys don't have to worry about usable energy. They just get after it and go hard. I wonder if they're going to try and do some kind of slipstreaming. I don't think he needs to. I think he's got the performance in the car. I think it's probably the biggest gap on the track right now. He's 8.3 seconds Nico Prost ahead of Daniel Abt. Yeah. And so he's probably just going to gap him a bit and then get after it. Nico Prost's last lap, 27.0. You would say that Sebastian Buemi has to go about 3 seconds a lap quicker than that to put this out of reach of Lucas Di Grassi.
Absolutely, that's absolutely the case. So now we're seeing Buemi slow down, get a little bit of a gap to Nico Prost in front of him, and then he will start to push once more to try and get that fastest lap. If you get the fastest lap, you get an extra 2 points, and that will basically give you the championship. Here comes Di Grassi through the left-hander.
Out of the last corner here, and the timeline today on the race is here, different than...
And there's Di Grassi.
He's got fan boost. Ah, no, he's used fan boost
before the line.
Yeah, before the line to build his top speed up.
Interesting.
So, he's a smart boy.
Very interesting stuff. Here he comes. Oh, he's locked up.
Ah, he's missed the corner.
Oh, just about got it in there. Let's see what he's got in the first sector, Lucas Di Grassi. It is a... just trying to find his lap time, 1 second of 15.4.
No, nowhere near. Nowhere near quick enough there.
First sector for Buemi, he was a 15.2.
There you go, 2/10 up the road. Even I can do that math.
Well done.
Thanks.
There's Buemi pushing as well. Verne hasn't got much usable energy left, you know, in third place. Look at that, he's got 30%, so that's going to be a tricky one. Oliver Turvey is now under a lot of pressure behind from D'Ambrosio. Here comes D'Ambrosio. Turvey having to ease off, I wonder if it's
turn one.
That's brave stuff from D'Ambrosio, but he's made it through.
I think it was Nelson Piquet who's clearly in trouble, so he managed to make that stick.
So I think both next EV cars must be having a similar kind of problem.
And it's not usable energy. I wonder what it is.
Very strange. He's now dropped back past both of the Dragon cars. Incident between Degrassi and Buemi will be investigated by the stewards after the race. Duh.
Yeah, really?
And we've got 5 laps to go here in Battersea Park.
Where's Buemi?
Now Philip Pack asks...
Oh, there you go, 30.8, middle section.
Well, fastest middle sector of anyone.
Yeah, he's just trying to put it out of reach here.
This is Bruno Senna trying to go past Oliver Turvey, easily going past Oliver Turvey. So both next EV cars running into trouble after having had good pace earlier on.
Temperature issue?
Pulls out and goes through. Well, maybe, but it's not that warm.
No, it's definitely not warm. I don't know. Maybe it's leaves from the trees that block the rad inlets or something. Who knows? Let's see what Buemi can do here. He's coming up to the end of the lap. Look at that round the outside of one.
Yeah, fantastic
See
stuff.
the wheels coming off the ground as he hits those bumps. That's bravery right there.
Philip Pack asks, what are the rules for classification? The rules are you don't have to be classified to set the fastest lap. That's irrelevant of whether you're classified or not. So these guys can just do it how they are. Now, Degrassi is on a lap and he's purple in Sector 1, Degrassi. Fastest first sector of anyone for the Brazilian. Wow.
Wow, exactly. Buemi's last lap was a 1:31.4.
Fastest middle sector of anyone for Lucas Degrassi. Is he about to lay the gauntlet down? Lock up on the right front, gets it in nevertheless. Is this going to be the lap that wins the championship for Lucas Degrassi?
Look how close to that wall he is.
Onto the brakes. Oh, a little bit of a lock-up. Gets it in.
He's got one more corner after this, and it's a tricky one. There's huge undulations on the brake zone here. Just watch the car bounce.
On the brakes, into the final turn at Chelsea Gate and out towards the line. Surely this is going to be the fastest lap of the race from Lucas Degrassi, which would give him 2 championship points across the line. 24.6, it's not! It's 2/10 slower! The final sector was not hooked up!
Didn't see that coming. Buemi he's 5 seconds off.
That was it. We're out of SOC.
It's out of something. What did he say? Out of...
Well, there was a lock-up coming into turn 8, but he still did the fastest middle sector of anyone.
500.
Oh, is this going to come down to 500ths of a second?
Unbelievable.
Buemi is just cruising.
Well, they'll have heard Degrassi say it's over.
He was cruising before that. So.
Meanwhile, look at Da Costa right back on the back of Nick Heidfeld in the battle for 4th place. Mike Conway's got past his teammate Stefan Sarazan. Conway's up into 9th position now.
2 laps to go. It's about to get tasty. Nobody's got to worry about usable energy here.
It's about to get tasty. Where have you been for the last 56 minutes?
I think a parallel universe, honestly. What has just gone on here?
Well, Degrassi gave it his all, but couldn't get the job done. Over the chicane they come. Lap 31 of 33. 3 go for race leader Nico Prost. This is the battle for 4th we're watching between Nick Heidfeld in the Mahindra and Antonio Felix da Costa in the Aguri. This is the last race for Team Aguri before they're sold to some Chinese investors and become Techita for next season.
He's close. You've got a crack and run off of there, Jack. Here he comes. He's going to look to the inside. That Mahindra goes in a straight line.
It does, doesn't it? They're basically using a similar powertrain to each other. And Buemi,
first segment.
Yep.
Buemi,
so we'll keep an eye on his sector times. But here comes Antonio Felix da Costa. Is he going to be close enough? Coming through the long left-hander at Rosary Gate. He's not. Heidfeld late on the brakes. Da Costa takes much more speed into the corner.
You know, the car da Costa's driving, the second car in the picture there is last year's technology. Buemi has done fastest sector 2 as well, so he's on a cracking lap here. And he's getting held up though. There's traffic in front of him and a yellow flag. I just thought, oh, there's a green. So who?
And Buemi goes around the outside and goes, it's Conway. He just got past his teammate and up into 9th place, and now it looks like he's run into trouble. So at the moment, 0.05 of a second are separating the 2 drivers. And is Degrassi going to get out for one more run?
Ooh, doubtful. Here we go. What's this lap going to be?
Across the line comes Sebastian Buemi. Is it going to be even faster? 24.582 to beat? Yes, 24.150. Great lap. And that's it.
It's over.
De Grassi, get out of the car.
Terminé, t'as le meilleur tour en course par 2 fois.
Is that the championship over for Lucas de Grassi?
Well, it can't. Nobody can go quicker anyway because
Sebastian Buemi has set the fastest lap of the race.
the timing was perfect because that yellow just came out, and if that happened 10 seconds later,
he'd have had to back off.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, his teammate, Nico Prost, is coming to the final corner of the race now. Final corner of the lap to start the final lap.
in America,
My brain is fried.
They call it a
White flag
lap. Yeah, white flag lap.
Brain is fried after this one. Across the line comes Nico Prost to start the final lap. Second at the moment, I thought it was Marcinkois for a moment, but then this race hasn't got that crazy. Second place is Daniel Abt there in the Abt car. Third is Jean-Eric Verne for DS Virgin.
This fight's still going on here between Heidfeld and Da Costa.
Surely some of these are going to go straight to Lungetown. Conway's got going again.
So why is the yellow still out?
But he's a lap down. I don't know why the yellow's still out at turn 12. No.
Debris maybe? And the Dragon guys are still together.
These two are going to be teammates next year at Dragon, so they don't want to fall out right at the end of the season.
And they get on well.
Yeah.
But they do like to give each other a hard time.
There's the conversation in the Renault garage. They're not going to celebrate just yet until it's entirely confirmed. Here comes Nico Prost. What will be confirmed when Prost crosses the line is that Renault will win the team's championship. Down towards the final corner comes Nico Prost.
He has been dominant today.
He was dominant yesterday, took victory around Battersea Park, and in the final race here in this park in London, Nico Prost come towards the final corner. He was helped because the championship protagonists whacked into each other at the start of the race.
He's looking in his mirror, he's going to have to look a lot longer than that.
The checker flag falls, Prost wins, Renault are the champions.
The Verne is out of energy.
Verne has hit 0%, so he is not going to get that third place. I think that'll go to Nick Heidfeld. But Sebastian Buemi in the pits.
Bravo les mecs, alors je veux juste vous dire, j'avais plus de puissance le dernier tour.
It's the same thing that happened yesterday to Sam Bird.
Yep, and Verne hit 0% before he got to the line. I'm pretty sure that should promote Heidfeld up into third place. But all of that means that Sebastian Buemi, with that fastest lap, is the FIA Formula E champion of Season 2.
We think. He's got to be. He did nothing wrong. There's no argument now.
Yeah,
He's nailed it.
If De Grassi, there we go, you're the champion, Sebastian.
Well done, mate.
Now we can start to celebrate.
Just.
But a very... Have you ever won a championship not in the car? You know, it must be a very surreal experience, not taking the line, pumping the air for victory.
I think no. Just incredible. Funny.
Sebastian Buemi, the Formula E champion of Season 2.
He's aged 100 years in the last 45 minutes.
He has?
Yeah.
Well, I've aged 200.
Yeah.
And now Buemi breaks down. It's been a long, hard season. He's had a lot of pressure. He's had everybody telling him that he's got the best car. This is his championship to lose. And now, finally, the champion of 2015-16, Sebastian Buemi.
You want to see what it means to him? There you
1 year ago, he missed out on the championship by 1 point. 2 weeks ago, he missed out on winning Le Mans by 2 laps. Now, he's the Formula E champion.
He's going into the... the equipment store there. Good for him. That is what it means, guys. And that'll mean that to every member of that Renault E-Dams team. On the other side, we will see what it means to Lucas de Grassi to miss out today. And it'll be interesting. Nicky's got a hard job talking to these guys to discover what actually happened. Turn 3, lap 1.
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? Well, there was Nicky Shields, and now we're going to hear from him. He's talking to Nicky as the champion of FIA Formula E. As I say, missed out on a point last year. There's the race winner, Nico Prost. Renault are the team's champions as well. Absolutely elated the whole team will be And now you can see everyone flocking towards the podium. If you're here at Battersea Park listening on the Visa Fan Radio, head to the podium now to see the celebrations. But let's hear from the new champion of FIA Formula E.
Sebastian Buemi, this really came down to being the fastest man on track. Huge congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It's difficult to realize. I was not expecting to celebrate it that way, but now we'll take a few minutes. The team won it and we won, so I'm more than happy, yeah.
More than happy. Emotions must be running very high.
Yeah, because it was a tough season, you know, and to start the race and, you know, with what he did, I didn't know what to think, you know. I just thought he wanted to try anything, and then even for the fastest lap, he was waiting for me to not let me do the fastest lap because he knew we were quicker, so he was waiting all the time, and I used a lot of energy for nothing. So in the end, I think the best driver and the best team won, and the others were.
And in your view, what did really happen at the start, you know, with that incident?
Well, it's very simple. I stayed flat for a long time because I knew he would give it a go. You know, he would try to do something crazy. So I stayed flat as late as I could, and then clearly I saw in the mirror he started to brake properly, and then he really went for the accident.
So you're very lucky to have finished as the new FIA Formula E World Champion.
Thank you.
Go and join the celebrations.
Hugs all around for Buemi. De Grassi has been summoned to the stewards straight away, and in some ways, Dario, I'm not, you know, I'm not biased in any way. Oh, here we go. Well, I didn't quite hear that, but in some ways it's better it's happened this way, because if De Grassi had set fastest lap, we'd be here saying De Grassi's the champion, but who knows what's going to happen with the stewards, what's going to happen here, what's going to happen there. At least this way we know now Buemi is the champion. The stewards aren't going to penalise him.
Absolutely. That
you know what I mean?
worst thing.
If De Grassi had got the fastest lap, we could have been going to a stewards inquiry to decide the championship.
Tuesday.
Yeah. No, I'm busy on Tuesday.
These guys and all the fans watching on TV and everybody here watching in person today at Battersea deserve a result and to celebrate.
Here we go again. De Grassi.
I still don't think he did it on purpose.
Okay.
But the result is the same. You know, Buemi did not deserve to lose the championship like that.
But he was far. It was his mistake.
Yeah, it was. Oh, absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. There's a difference though between
of course
a mistake and doing something completely. But you know, Buemi thinks so, and he was closer to the action than I was.
Oh, into the back there.
He's got the Formula E championship now to go with his WEC championship of a couple of years ago.
We also need to figure out who is third here, because the timing screens are now saying D'Ambrosio and Duval in third and fourth. So that might just be a timing screen glitch, or it might be that all of those guys went to 0%. Here's a look on the replay from Buemi. He was going slowly, actually.
He was going slow in the braking zone, Jack.
I have to agree there.
But he doesn't deserve that to happen.
Let's hear our race winner. 2 wins in a row. Renault the champions. He's with Nicky Shields.
Well, Nico, huge smile across your face and very well deserved. 2 wins in 1 weekend. What's going on?
It's been an up and down season, but this is really an up, I guess. No, fantastic day. A lot of pressure before the race. I guess my teammate is champion from what I see. So
you are correct.
So everything looks like a perfect day, to be honest.
Almost a perfect weekend. Were you involved in the incident earlier on at the beginning of the race?
To be honest, as much as I like Lucas, and I don't know what he did, because I was in the middle. Seb took a bad start, but I don't know, he was 100 kilometers too quick and just destroyed Seb, so I don't know. Usually he's like the fairest guy in the paddock, but I think he lost his mind.
But from that point onwards, you didn't really look back, did you?
Well, I was a bit bored with all these safety cars because every time I was pulling away, but yeah, I mean, the car was so good this weekend that in the end it turned out to be good.
And dare I say, we'll leave them to celebrate.
So there is Jerome D'Ambrosio, who's going to be on the podium. after all of that, because Heidfeld, Verne and Da Costa all used too much energy, and as a result have had a drive-through penalty given. And so that means that Jerome D'Ambrosio ends up third.
Nothing would surprise me today. You know, I have to say that it just shows how close, though, everybody's running the usable energy now. It used to be you finished the race 3-4%, maybe more. Now it's 1. You see it, 1 going to 0 just after the finish line. It seems everybody now has got software that gets them, not everybody, but most have got software that gets them closer to the absolute limit. Did you see Daniel Abt congratulate Sebastian Buemi there? And Buemi just kind of shook his hand, and I don't know if he's forgiven him for yesterday yet.
No, absolutely. Well, they're making their way to the podium now. Elizabeth Worth, obviously, over the moon that Jerome D'Ambrosio has finished on the podium as well. A messy end to the season, not the way you want to see a championship decided, but you can't deny it gave us some drama and it gave us a bit of entertainment. As I say, we would rather have seen it happen, you know, head-to-head on the track without the action at the start there, but it happened how it happened. Nico Prost, the winner of the final round of the Formula E season, 7.6 seconds clear of Daniel Abt for the Abt Schaeffler Audi Sport team. Jerome D'Ambrosio third for Dragon Racing. Another podium for him, his 6th in Formula E. Loic Duval 4th for Dragon. 5th Stefan Sarazan, 6th Bruno Senna, and Heidfeld, Verne and Da Costa all given time penalties that knocked them down the order because they used too much energy. And then Turvey in 11th, just missing out on the points. I don't know what happened to him and Nelson Piquet for next DV. Then Mike Conway finishing in 13th place. Sebastian Buemi, 155 points. 2 points clear of Lucas Di Grassi. Nico Prost third in the championship in the end, ahead of Sam Bird in 4th. Jerome D'Ambrosio completing the top 5. Bruno Senna completing the top 10. Who else picked up some points at the end there? No one really. Nick Heidfeld grabbed a couple. Teams, a commanding win for Renault Edams, 270 points for them, ahead of 221 for Abt Schaeffler Audi Sport. DS Virgin Racing finishing in 3rd place. Dragon Racing in 4th, 1 position lower than they managed last year, and only 3 points behind DS Virgin, thanks to those eliminations at the end, but they almost managed to finish 3rd.
For weekly Formula E videos, click subscribe on the left-hand side. To watch the next one, click the icon in the centre, and remember to hit the like button and leave your comments down below.